Well, hello, Bruce. Thank you for coming. I am so excited to get here to introduce you and SHIP to our people. So, State Health Insurance Assistance Program. There's an A missing in your SHIP. I don't really know where that comes from, but so Bruce Muller, you would like you to introduce yourself and introduce SHIP to us.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, there is an A missing in it, and it's kind of like Medicare. Medicare is a series of letters, alphabet soup. So I guess we decided, we should, do the same thing. CHIP stands for, again, State Health Insurance Assistance Program, and that translates to we are essentially Medicare. Without a CHIP program, after you've signed up for Medicare with Social Security, there's really no place to go to get help to understand how it all works. And that's what we do. We operate under a grant from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. Every state has a SHIP program. Some states, they don't call it SHIP. They might call it something else. For instance, in Florida, they call it SHINE. I forget the other names. But we operate with paid positions, such as myself, and then other counselors and volunteers around the state. We have about 400 combination of counselors and volunteers. For instance, in the Indianapolis area, Socoa, all of their options counselors are SHIP trained. And then we have various volunteers around. And SHIP trained means that someone has gone through an intensive 4-day training period to learn the basics. And then they sit with an experienced counselor at one of our sites, whether it be at Prime Life in Carmel or St. Vincent Hospital, in Indianapolis, and lots of other places. But they sit with an experienced counselor and learn the ropes. A lot of it's just learning our various procedures, and then take some phone calls. They work with some people in person. There is a way that we can search all the various plans when somebody is new to Medicare and help them out. We are not selling anything. We are educational. So let's say that somebody came to us and they're new to Medicare. How does this work? It's really confusion. Our advice is unbiased. I say to people, don't ask me how I take my Medicare, because I'm not going to tell you, because if I told you how I do it, you would assume that that's the way to do it. And don't ask us to, if you ask me, what do you think's best for me? Again, we don't say that. We're going to educate you. We want you to know how it all works, so that 5 years down the road, you wonder, why did I take my Medicare the way I did? I'm not happy. But that's the way he or she said to do it. We want you to understand what you've done with your current situation and current facts as to how you take care. And then we do have various programs with folks with pretty limited income that they can help them pay for programs. So
You cut out right there. What was you get with limited income? You can help them what?
We can help them pay for like the deduction that's going to come out of their Social Security check. And also that will tie in a federal program that'll help them with their drug expense. So that's for folks with a pretty limited income. So we help them do things like that. For instance, one of the big questions that seems to be the most popular thing right now, a lot of people have worked past their 65th birthday, and they're going to leave their job, add health insurance. How does that work? So we help them engage from their employer. But
So
if somebody's working, I was just going to say,
you would help them do that any time of the year, or
anytime.
only during that?
Yeah. When somebody leaves their employer, and they've been covered by insurance, employer insurance, they have what we call a special enrollment period when they can sign up. And they have all the same guaranteed issue rights as someone would have who has just signed up. Somebody could work until they're 100, and if they have the proper coverage through their employer, they wouldn't need to sign up generally people sign up for Part A because that's the free portion. Part B is the portion where we're going to start taking 150 out of their Social Security check, or they're going to send them a bill amount of money. So that's a pretty popular question right now. How does that work? Because I'm working my somebody's working, if somebody's already on Social Security when they turn 65, they will automatically.
You keep
So
cutting out. They turn 65. What now?
when they turn 65,
Yeah, they
and
automatically.
they're on Social Security, they will automatically be enrolled in Medicare.
Okay.
So
Well, let me. So, who's your client? Is it just anyone that's at 65 or older? Is it age, or is it income driven, or how's that
no,
work?
it's basically, people who are 65 and older, new to Medicare, or they've been on Medicare and they have some problems or questions. We help them with that. Now, people who are disabled for more than 2 years are eligible for Medicare. So we help people with that process. Again, there's lots of questions that come up as to how that works, and we help them through that decision-making process. And then someone who has end-stage renal disease, some other situations, they're automatically enrolled in Medicare. So we help people with all those kinds of questions.
Now, do you actually sign people up for Medicare, or
No.
do you?
No, we're not really. We to a degree we can, but again, we're not selling insurance policies. However, we can help them with their drug plan, and we can also help them if they're joining an Advantage plan. Somebody's taking what we call original Medicare, and they have Part A and their Part B, and Medicare pays for 80% of their Part B, and then they have to pay the other 20%. And that's where the supplement or Medigap comes into play. We can help them search on our website for various plans, but they will need to call a company or insurance agent or online to sign up for that.
They need to call who now?
Mm-hmm.
You cut out here. They need to call who? Insurance
They
agent?
would call an insurance company, an
Okay.
agent, or they can do that online themselves too.
Okay.
And there's no difference in price. Some people think, well, if I go online, it would be less expensive than talking to somebody locally. No, it's all the same. So, if somebody knows somebody locally, or they want to deal locally with somebody, I always recommend it, because then you will have somebody locally who will kind of watch out for you, keep track of you, and keep you up to date on the various issues.
So you're kind of like you guys are basically a guide. You're there to basically help people through the process, understand the language, make sure that they're getting the benefits that they need, and then then they need to deal with it through an insurance company online or an agent, right?
Correct. So yes, we're basically a guide, and then we're also a problem solver.
Okay, very good.
There's one of the other things happening right now is a lot of older folks have moved back to Indianapolis because they have grandchildren in the area. And that means that depending on how they're taking their Medicare, they have to look for a new plan, because they might be in an Advantage plan that those operate with a network of physicians and other services. So if they're moving back from Florida to Indianapolis, it might not be the same plan, and they don't have a doctor here in their plan. So they have to do some little bit of research and get themselves settled in Indianapolis, get a new plan. Now they do have a time period to get that new plan. So that's not an issue, but we do help them do that.
Is there any cost for your services?
No, absolutely not. No, we are really I will say an extension of Medicare, but when you go to the Social Security office, that's where you sign up for Medicare. But after you've signed up for it, then Social Security is kind of, more or less done with it. So any of the other issues, most of those people also say, well, call CHIP and they will help you through the process.
Well, very good. Now, so how long have you been involved with this?
Um, this will be my 4th year.
Oh, is that right?
I took if you can't tell by the hair, I am 73, and I took this kind of kicking and screaming that, well, I don't know if I can do this. I'll give it a try. And here I am 4 years later. And before that, I spent 3 years in the Indiana Office of the Attorney General in their consumer outreach program. And we did educational programs about scams and frauds and all kinds of things happening to consumers. So I've got kind of I'm out talking to folks. I've know a little bit about that and really enjoyed that for 3 years.
So how does someone get with SHIP? Right? Is it just going online? Is
Yeah, you
it?
can go online and find us at www.medicare.in.gov, or you can give us a phone call. We have a call center, and they can usually answer your questions. If not, they might send you to one of our local sites. Volunteers are there. Well, pre-COVID, they were there on a pretty steady basis, but hopefully now we're going to be back in our offices, on a more regular basis. And then, again, we are staffed by volunteers. So we're always looking for people who want to do this. A lot of our volunteers have come to us because we have helped them, or we have helped somebody in their family, or they've been in the healthcare business and they know about the confusion with Medicare and want to become involved. And when they start counseling, for instance, one of my counselors in Bloomington last year during the open enrollment, when you can look and change your plans and check your Part D plan to make sure you're getting the best price on your prescriptions, the counselor there helped a lady save over $30,000 on her drug.
Wow.
She was paying $30,000 out of pocket on the drug plan because she just never checked it. She just thought, oh, this is the way it is. Fortunately, she had the income, but unfortunately, she had the income because it didn't force her into looking and seeing what should be really going on. But went to the doctor one time. He said, you need to get in touch with these folks, and they will make sure that that's your only option. And it wasn't when we changed her drug. So that's what a volunteer will help people do.
Well, my guess is that she is a big fan at this point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Once a volunteer helps in a situation like that, they are a volunteer. They are a volunteer. I mean, we have some volunteers that have been with us 15, 18 years plus.
Yeah.
And they kind of develop their own following that, people every year when they want to review their plans, they're looking for, A, B, or C. So it's they've been pretty dedicated to the organization.
That's cool. Well, who's Bruce when you're not at work?
Big gardener. I have a huge shade garden because of where I live in the city. I'm heavily treed and kind of known for my shade garden and gardens and everything. I don't own a lawnmower, even though my property's fair size for being in the city. I'm pretty compulsive about garden, and also have my dogs. I have two big standard poodles, the real thing, poodles,
Mm-hmm.
and they're my babies. And that's and then if we can get away, we love to go to northern Michigan for vacation. We're the opposite of most people. A lot of people want to go to Florida, and we want to go up north and cooler weather. Because I'm originally from upstate New York, where my hometown this last winter they had 2 snowfalls that were over 45 inches each.
Oh my goodness.
So when I moved to Indianapolis, I thought I did move. So
So, well, thank you so much. How would someone, does someone just get on the website? Do they call you?
Yeah,
What's
they
the
can get
best way?
on the website, but for this, what we're doing here through you, they can give me a call. My number is 317-283-4070. And, my office happens to be in my home. It always has been with us. Yep. Um, but I'll answer your calls as soon as I can. I'm out doing presentations. If somebody has an organization or their community where they live, they want to have more information about Medicare. We even play Medicare bingo, and that's not like regular bingo. You have to answer the questions in order to win our prizes. But we do that in a lot of communities to bring people up to date, make sure they understand just how uh, ship and Medicare. So we're out on the road a lot, getting the word out as to who we are.
Well, thank you so much for your time. If anybody has any problems, get a hold of you and we'll go from there. So thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate the time.